Hi, today my blog entry is specifically from Genesis 26 through 31. Specifically starting with Genesis 28, 6 through 9. It seems as if Esau had really screwed up in his life. He first sold his birthright for a bowl of stew. He was the first one born, so, he should have inherited everything that Jacob had. He should have been the first one to get it, but, he was also a twin brother. He was just born, earlier than Jacob. But, one day he was hungry, complaining about it, and he sold his birthright for a bowl of stew. And then, later on when Isaac was about ready to die, he was, it was customary, especially back then, to bless the sons. And usually, the best blessing would always go for the oldest son. Basically, then Jacob comes in and takes the blessing. He basically got fooled by Jacob. So, and then, finally, the final straw, perhaps with God, was when he went and married a daughter of Ishmael. Due to all this, God really knew the heart of Esau and cut him off from the covenant and despised him. And it even talks about this in Romans 9 that, it even says God hated Esau. When I was doing this entry, I was thinking of, if Genesis 30 were to happen, and this is jumping ahead, this is where, Jacob ends up traveling to this guy named Laban and stays there for a while, and he ends up making a deal. He falls in love with Rachel, who's his younger daughter, and wants to marry her, and he works a deal where he works for 7 years and is to marry her. And then the person he ends up marrying is Leah, and he has to work another 7 years to get Rachel. I don't know why I wondered this, but it just reminded me of, I guess if this was to happen today, it kind of reminded me of, one of those talk shows, maybe Jerry Springer or something like that. Here we have a man who was strict into marrying a woman he didn't love to work another 7 years on top of the first 7 years he already had. So, a total of 14 years just to marry the one he loved. Then, he starts having all kinds of children with the woman he didn't want to marry, which was Leah. And then the woman he loved, Rachel, had him sleep with her maid, which this was customary. This even happened with Abraham and Sarah and Hagar. He starts sleeping with one of the maids and has some kids with her. Then Leah does the same, has him do the same thing to get some more kids. And then this is what I thought was the funniest part of this whole section, is where Leah barters to sleep with Jacob again and has some more kids. Then Jacob finally sleeps with, from Rachel, he has a kid, Joseph, which, as we'll see, Joseph is very big into the story of what we're going to go through in the next session that I go through. I guess that's my entry. These are just my thoughts I had at the time when I was reading this section. Just kind of, especially that part with Jacob, Jacob, Leah, Rachel, and the two maids. It just reminded me of something you'd see on, one of those talk shows. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope you all take care. Sorry this is a little shorter, but anyway, I guess you could go to my blog website and read ahead if you want to. Take care and God bless you.